Okay, so now that we understand the basics of the ruler and the 3 types of lines that are going to be in this drawing, we're going to get started by practicing with just some basic boxes or cubes, okay? We're going to take this super slow and practice a bunch so that we can add on more details as we go. So the first thing I want you to do is to go ahead and draw your horizon line. I typically like to draw my horizon line just a little bit over the middle, okay? Later on, we'll talk about where to place your horizon line. If you have it super high up, it's gonna look like you're really far back from the city, looking into the city. If you have it super low, it will be more like you're walking on that street you're drawing. So we will talk about that more often, but always just a safe bet to place your vertical, or your horizon line somewhere in the middle here. Okay, so I've got that placed. And I'm gonna go ahead and make one vanishing point, one dot. This is 1 point perspective, okay? So I only need 1 point. Okay, next up, I'm gonna begin by drawing some squares or rectangles. Does not matter to me, you must use your ruler though, okay? I don't wanna see homework turn in without the ruler. I did provide you guys with the ruler in your toolkits. If you have lost that, you need to let me know. You can buy one at the dollar store, of course, but also you could just use a straight edge of something. I could even just use another piece of paper if I didn't have a ruler, okay? I could use a magazine, I could use a book, whatever. So I'm just gonna draw one square. Okay, and I'm just using my piece of paper here. I do want to fix any errors, okay? So I have this little overhang right there. So I want to fix that now. Okay, so I have one square or one rectangle, whichever you want to draw, on the left-hand side of my paper. What I'm going to do next is make this building go into perspective, okay? And remember, perspective is the concept that things that are closer to you, okay? So if I was this little human down here, okay, there I am, little stick figure. If I was down here, this building that's closest to me, and the corner of the building that's closest to me, is going to appear larger than the building that's further down. As this building goes towards this point, it's gonna get smaller. So first step after you get your square or rectangle drawn is we're gonna line up the ruler to the point. That's why it's so helpful to have this ruler, okay? Or a piece of paper, whatever you're using. So I'm gonna touch my ruler to this point, to my vanishing point. And I'm gonna draw the line all the way there. I'm gonna repeat this here and here. I am not, however, going to connect this line. Can anybody tell me why? Well, the reason why is because if this was a building, I technically wouldn't be able to see into this to know that it has a line. So just for you to understand though, I am gonna go ahead and draw a little dotted line so that you understand that line is there. It's just, we can't see it, okay? And make sure all of your lines are touching that point, okay? All right, so that's how you turn a square or a rectangle into a 3-dimensional building that's in perspective. Now, this might look a little odd to you because it's going into infinity, right? So what we need to do is crop this building, okay, or chop it. So this building is not that huge. It's not gonna go 10 miles to the vanishing point. So what I need to do is crop the building. Now, you might get stuck here on what type of line to draw. So if you can recall from our earlier conversations, there's only 3 types of lines in this drawing. One is vertical, 2 is horizontal, and 3 is vanishing. Okay, remember those vanishing lines go to the vanishing point. So I know that I need another vertical line right here to chop this building. if I didn't know which type of line to draw, okay, always look at this other line, the parallel line, okay? They have to match. So I know it needs to be a vertical line. I also know that it's not gonna be a horizontal line, okay? And it's not a vanishing line because these two that I'm drawing it between are vanishing lines. So I don't need a third vanishing line. Okay, now same for the top. These are vanishing lines already, so I don't need another one. I don't need a vertical line because I already have one here. So I need a horizontal line. Also, look, that's the line right here that I'm trying to match. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw a horizontal line. Then I will erase out these extra lines, okay? This is where I see people mess up most often. This is where you start to draw the slanted lines, okay? So let me draw another one over here and show you some of the errors people commonly make, okay? So one is that your lines aren't actually straight. Make sure that your ruler is truly horizontal and truly straight, okay? That they're not slanted. Even myself, I do this sometimes, okay? If something looks fishy to you, just hold your ruler up and see, compare. Remember the space here. It's even, my line is straight. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and connect my corners to the vanishing point. All I have to do is line up my ruler, okay? You kind of pivot it on this point, so I've got my finger holding the ruler, okay? And I can kind of just move it around here. All right, double check before you draw your line that you're touching both points, okay? That's important. Okay, so here's a building that's correct, okay? I'm gonna erase out these little imaginary lines now. Okay, now let me show you some of the wrong ways you don't wanna do. So sometimes I see people do this. They draw a line right here like that, okay? Hopefully you can tell that is wrong. Why? Because we can't have diagonal lines. We know that. We can't have slanted lines. And look, they're trying to use one line for both parts of the cube here, okay? So I need to fix that with a truly vertical line. I need to match the line that already exists, okay? For this to be a rectangle, I have to have two sides that are the same and the other two sides that are the same, okay? So again, another mistake is people will draw a line that looks like this. Let me do it this way. Okay, what's wrong with that line? It is slanted. See how it's not matching this? Okay, it's not truly horizontal. So I need to go back in and make that truly horizontal. And you know what? I think my ruler was just a little bit slanted, so I'm gonna recheck myself and draw that again and just erase out the part that's wrong, okay? That's why you wanna do this in pencil, is you're gonna be erasing a lot of lines, guys. Okay, so we've got two buildings drawn here. What we're gonna do next is draw one more building up here somewhere, okay? You can do it on the left or right side. And what I want you to see is when you draw a building above the horizon line, you still have to touch the vanishing point, but you'll go down to the vanishing point. Whereas here we went up to the vanishing point, okay? So let me finish drawing my little square here. Okay, so now I'm gonna touch my corner with my ruler to the point. Okay. Gonna do it again here. And then this line is gonna be pretty small, but we'll still see it, so I'm gonna draw it. Okay, all the way to the point. Now, this time, you guys, I'm not gonna have the top of my project showing here, or my box, I'm gonna have the bottom showing, okay? So, what type of line do I need to crop my building? Another horizontal line, because I have to match what I've already done. So double check that your line is truly straight. Always double check. Go ahead and draw that. I need another vertical line right here, so I'm gonna match that. Okay, I'm gonna erase my little overhangs and erase out these lines because I don't need my building to continue to infinity. Later on, you guys, you won't have to draw those going to the vanishing point, but I just want you to see. Okay, so this is your in-class assignment that you're going to submit, okay? 3 boxes, one on the left, one on the right, one above, all touching the vanishing point. Double check these lines, okay? These back sides where you crop the building is where I see most mistakes. So feel free to show it to me before you turn it in and I can help you fix anything. Alrighty, that is the basics of 1-point perspective.